We're reading one story all week this week. It's the healing of the paralyzed man. You might have heard this before and you're asking, why are we reading the same thing each day? Our hope, as has been from the beginning of this plan, is that by going slow, you might see something new each day that you read. I'm going to read a few lines from the beginning of this chapter in hopes that you might imagine what's happening here and that you might be challenged in a way that I was challenged as I read. So here we are in chapter 5. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now there is in Jerusalem near the Sheep Gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Fun fact, if you go to Jerusalem, you can actually visit these ruins. I've been there. Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" And we're going to talk a lot about this story and what that line means this week. But the thing that strikes me, I've never thought about this before, is what it would be like to walk past this pool. We're only told from the author that it's where a lot of disabled people used to lie, helpless on their mats. This man who'd been there for decades, we can assume. People who can't see. And I would imagine this is a place that most people, including the Pharisees, we can see in a little bit, like most people who have it all together on the outside, walk by quickly. They don't linger there. They don't hang out and associate there with people who would have been considered unclean back then. But what does Jesus do? Here, a great number of disabled people used to lie: the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years, and when Jesus saw him lying there, what does he do? He talks to him. Jesus, the Son of God, doesn't hurry past this group of people who are on the outside, considered unclean, laying there like in a mass of people by this pool. He doesn't just walk by on his way to more important things. He settles in. He has conversation. He gets up close. He takes interest in them. Later, when the Pharisees approach this man who's been healed, they come in with a very kind of militant tone. Who did this? Why are you carrying your mat? This man is an object or a problem and not a person. So here's why it's challenging to me. There are all kinds of places where I work, where I walk, where I drive, where there's a group of people who I just want to walk past. Jesus doesn't just walk past. He settles in and has conversation. He moves in close and asks poignant questions. Do you really want to be healed? What's going on in your life? How are you? What I'm taking from this, and what I hope you take too, is who are the people you want to walk by? And what does it look like to move in close? To really see them and to engage in conversation? Trusting that the Holy Spirit moves and is present when you slow down and stop to see those you might just walk past anyway.